Have you ever wondered if gods walked among humans? The ancient Egyptians certainly believed so. Dive deep into the heart of ancient Egypt, and you'll find a civilization that revered their leaders as divine entities. The Pharaohs, the ultimate rulers of this ancient kingdom, were considered to be the very children of the gods. In this grand, age-old society, the line between the mortal and the divine was blurred. Pharaohs were not just political leaders, they wore the dual mantle of religious leaders too. They were the conduits between the gods and the people, wielding an authority that was believed to be bestowed upon them by the divine pantheon itself. Their roles were not limited to the mundane tasks of governance. They were the shepherds of their people's souls, guiding them through the intricacies of their rich, complex religious practices. They were the keepers of divine wisdom, the interpreters of divine will. And when it came to the afterlife, the pharaohs were no different from the gods they were related to. They firmly believed that death was not an end, but a transition to another form of existence. This belief led to the construction of grand tombs that were nothing short of architectural marvels. These tombs, often mistaken as mere burial sites, were in fact eternal homes for the pharaohs. They were filled with a myriad of items, from the practical to the luxurious, all intended to serve the pharaohs in their afterlife. It was believed that the pharaohs would continue to live, to rule, and to protect their people even from the realm of the dead. So, when we talk about the pharaohs, we're not merely discussing rulers or kings, we are talking about divine beings who walked the earth, who commanded not just obedience but reverence and awe. They were the earthly embodiments of the gods, the mortal representations of the divine. So, in essence, the pharaohs were not just rulers, but divinities walking the earth, commanding respect and reverence. Imagine having the power to control every aspect of people's lives. This was the reality for the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. In the grand tapestry of human history, few figures loom as large as the pharaohs. They were more than just political leaders, they were seen as divine beings, intermediaries between the gods and the people. This divine status granted them an unprecedented level of authority and control over their subjects. They crafted laws that governed every aspect of life, from trade and commerce to personal conduct. And these weren't just any laws, they were divine decrees seen as the will of the gods themselves. To disobey a pharaoh's law was to risk divine wrath, making the pharaoh's rule virtually unchallengeable. But their power extended beyond just lawmaking. The pharaohs also controlled the economy, setting tax rates and collecting revenue. They decided how much grain to store for the future, how much to distribute among the people, and how much to trade with other nations. Their decisions could mean the difference between prosperity and famine, between peace and war. And speaking of war, the pharaohs commanded the army too. They decided when to go to war, who to fight, and how to fight them. They were the ultimate military strategists, their decisions shaping the course of Egypt's history. The pharaohs' power was absolute, their authority unquestioned. They controlled every aspect of life in ancient Egypt, from the food people ate to the gods they worshipped. And they did so with a confidence and conviction that comes only from the belief in their divine right to rule. But even with all this power, the pharaohs were not tyrants. They were seen as benevolent rulers, their laws and decisions aimed at ensuring the prosperity and well-being of their people. They were loved and respected, their rule seen as a divine blessing rather than a burden. The pharaohs held the reins to every facet of life in ancient Egypt, making them one of the most powerful rulers in history. Imagine a leader ruling for over 6 decades. In the world of pharaohs, this was not uncommon. The ancient dynasties of Egypt were marked by pharaohs who sat on the throne for incredibly long periods, some for more than 60 years. This was no small feat in a time when life expectancy was much lower than today. These extended reigns were not merely a result of longevity, but a testament to the pharaoh's political and religious authority. They were the supreme rulers, the intermediaries between the gods and the people, the lawmakers, the tax collectors, and the commanders of the army. Their words were not just commands, but divine decrees, shaping every aspect of life in ancient Egypt. A pharaoh's reign wasn't only about power and control though, it was also about stability and continuity. Long reigns provided the kingdom with a steady hand, guiding the civilization through periods of prosperity and adversity alike. It's a testament to the pharaoh's leadership that they could maintain such a grip on power, and it's a testament to the people's belief in their divine right to rule. These long reigns also allowed for monumental architectural achievements, grand temples, and elaborate tombs, all designed to honor the pharaohs in life and secure their legacy in death. The very existence of these structures is a silent testament to their enduring power. Their long reigns bear testimony to the unwavering authority and respect the pharaohs commanded in ancient Egypt. As we delve deeper into the lives of these fascinating rulers, let us uncover some lesser-known facts about the pharaohs. Did you know that pharaohs were often overweight? That's right, despite the athletic depictions in ancient artwork, many pharaohs were quite heavy. This was due to their diet rich in bread, beer, and honey. Speaking of diet, did you know that pharaohs were the only ones allowed to eat certain foods, such as sacred bull's meat? Their meals were seen as a divine communion, a means of maintaining the gods' favor. And that's not all. The pharaoh's role was so significant that even their bodily functions were considered sacred. The pharaoh's hair was believed to have magical properties and was often included in amulets. In the realm of fashion, pharaohs were trendsetters. They were known to wear false beards, a symbol of their divine authority. Interestingly, these beards were often straight for living pharaohs and curled for those depicted posthumously. And finally, it's worth noting that not all pharaohs were men. The most famous female pharaoh was Hatshepsut, who ruled for over 20 years and is considered one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs. She often depicted herself in male attire, including the symbolic false beard, to assert her authority. So the realm of pharaohs is filled with intriguing facts that continue to captivate us, even though their era has long passed.